former Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley dunked on ABC's George Stephanopoulos after their tense exchange last year about President Biden's mental acuity resurfaced on Tuesday. During an interview last August on Good Morning America, Haley repeated her assertion that a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris. There's no way Joe Biden is going to finish his term, Haley said. Kamala Harris is going to be the next president, and that should send a chill up every American spine. But also think the fact that we have a primary. Excuse me, Stephanopoulos interrupted with a scowl on his face. How do you know Joe Biden's not going to finish his term? What is that based on? So common sense doesn't count. That is not a proper basis from George Stephanopoulos and the liberal elite perspective. Ask Americans, do you think he's going to finish his term? Do you think that he's actually going to finish what he started? Haley responded. We look at the decline he's had over the last few years. You have to be honest with the American people, George. There's no way that Joe Biden is going to finish out next term. We can't have an 81-year-old president. We have to have a new generational leader. Again, you didn't answer the question, Stephanopoulos pushed back. What evidence, right? What evidence do you have that he's not going to finish his term? What Americans feel has no basis on whether he's going to finish his term or not. Or is that true? Sometimes what Americans feel does have a basis. It turns out in this area, what Americans felt with regard to Joe Biden had far more of a basis than all of the high IQ, liberal, mainstream media elite perspective. All right, 100 IQ conservative plumbers had more wisdom on this than 150 IQ liberal elite TV anchors. So conservatives have more faith in the common sense of ordinary people than do liberals. Liberals want studies. Liberals want science. Right? Liberals believe more in science than in common sense. Liberals wanted to wait for credentialed medical elites following protocol to declare Joe Biden unfit for office, right? Regular people didn't wait for expertise, all right? People on the conservative end of the spectrum are much less likely to wait for expertise. So let's see what else is going on in the mainstream media today.
Over the weekend, it won't be enough to assure the American people.
Look, I think they've got to do a lot of stuff. They've got to get him out there this week. He has to show people that he is strong. They should have prepared us for a raspy voice on Thursday night, to be perfectly frank, and nobody did. So one interview isn't going to fix this either.
Nothing that's been happening is encouraging. And so, we all love George Stephanopoulos, and that's great. But, it's got to be a lot more than that.